Hey, Nickie Brown here, no matter where you are and no matter what part of the world you're in. I hope that you're having a good day. So, I'm a very private person, but I feel like I need to share this. No matter what you're going through, you can still have joy. Right now, I'm pending eviction. A lot of my bills are past due. I haven't been able to drive my car, and I have a lot going on, but I know I'm gonna overcome it. When I was younger, I used to always say, well, God looks out for fools and babies. So if I'm being a fool, then so be it. Because a lot of people would, some of the decisions that I would make on faith and trust, people would say, oh, you stupid. Oh, you crazy. And again, I kind of swayed away from that because people would say, oh, you just don't care. You're unkind. It doesn't mean any of those things. It just means that you're different. And I'm a very private person, so I don't really like sharing my life. But again, I don't even know how the rent is going to get paid, but I trust that it will be paid, right? So you can still, because whatever you're experiencing should not affect your mood. You should not allow it to affect your mood. And if you want to know how you can do that, I'll be more than happy to help you. I'll be more than happy to share that with you. I feel like that's one of the things we're here for, to love each other and to learn from one another, right? We've been taught to see the outside and judge the book by its cover when it's about the soul within the person. It's not about the things that they have or don't have or the amount of money in their bank account. That's not what life is about. And so if you understand that, because a lot of people call themselves Christians, yet they walk around worrying, right? They walk around in fear. They walk around with jealousy and animosity, being petty, being spiteful. You're hurting yourself on the inside. When you compare yourself to someone, you're hurting yourself on the inside. Do what you're good at. Be who you're supposed to be. Who are you? Remember who you are and whose you are. Right? That's what we're here for. To have trust, to have confidence in ourselves. We were conditioned not to do that. But I can help you build that confidence back in yourself, right? So that you know and trust and understand what's really going on, right? Most intelligent people overthink. We do. We overthink things. Like I said, when I was younger, it would just be simply, well, God looks out for fools and babies. My mom was very simple at that point. And everything always worked out, as it always does. Even if we worry and stress, it always works out. So why worry and stress when it's still going to work out? It's going to work out, as it always does. Even if you don't understand what's going on at the time, even if it doesn't seem like it's working out at the time, everything works in our favor in divine timing. I met this lady yesterday. She gave me a prophetic word, right? This is one of the reasons I'm here. Like, I know that I'm here to help people. I'm here to show people how to love, how to treat people with respect, how to treat people well. But that doesn't mean that you're stupid or you're naive. That doesn't mean you should allow people to take advantage of you, because honey, you could quit, you know. We're not getting ready to do that. You can put somebody in their place really quickly. You don't have to yell at them. You don't have to cuss at them. That's emotional intelligence, right? Understand your purpose. What's your purpose? Why are you here? Be in love with life, right? Heal your inner child. Allow your inner child to smile, right? Talk to your inner child. Say you're safe, you're protected, everything is okay now. You're in a better place here on earth. You can have heaven here on earth. That's what we're supposed to experience. We're supposed to help one another build generational wealth, right? And again, success doesn't necessarily mean climbing the corporate ladder. We don't that's not our basic need, right? Food, clothing, shelter, water, and love are our basic needs. It's not about having the biggest shelter, right? Because right now have us living in boxes. but our ancestors lived in round structures. So just because you have the biggest box and you pay the most money for it does not mean that you're successful. It just means that you're more conditioned. And I know some people will feel some kind of way about me saying that because it's your cognitive dissonance is being disturbed. What you thought should be is not. It's a program. You're still plugged into the matrix. And you don't know it. And you think that the things that you're doing or the things that you have like make you a better person. What goes on the inside makes you a good person. And that's not to say that we shouldn't have good things or quality things. It's not to say that you can't have a big house. But what's your mindset behind it? What is your intention behind it? Right? A lot of millionaires will take themselves out. Why? Because they know that that's not what it's about. They're still living in stress. And stress will take you out faster than anything. Right? My philosophy has always been, if I can't do anything about it, I'm not going to worry about it. Right? And although I'm human, sometimes I do still fall into that, worry stage for a moment, or even thinking about it. But the more you think about it, the more it's going to be real in your life. Right? Because our thoughts become things. It's the law of attraction. It's one of the laws of the universe. And people say, oh, well, I don't believe in that. You don't have to believe in it for it to be true. It doesn't make it any less true. There are certain universal laws that exist. And whether you call it a universal law or you call it an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, you reap what you sow, however, whatever term you decide to use, it is what it is, right? When I grew up when I went back to the city when I was 16, I saw the Hispanics kiss one another on the cheek. Right? They greeted one another with love. They didn't look one another, oh, who she thinks she is, who he think he is. I don't like him. You don't even know that person. And you're already judging and criticizing them because there's something in them that makes you feel insecure. There's something in them that makes you feel jealous. And so because I have trust, right, that also means that I have confidence. And people hate a confident person. Like, how dare you be confident? Why can't I be? Who are you to say that I can't? Who are you to say that I shouldn't? If the Most High gave me that gift, why can't I share it with the world? Make it make sense. And by me helping people and sharing things with people, this doesn't inflate my ego. That's something other people project onto people. Because that's how they feel. That's how they operate. That's how they think. And they try to belittle you or make you feel bad because you're confident. Reject it. Reject that projection. I'm not somebody who needs attention and validation, but I get a lot of attention and validation. My aura is bright. And you have those people who feel like, oh, I'm going to befriend her just so that I can try to, belittle her or attack her or him, whatever the situation may be, because there are men who are like that as well. Right? But I know I add value. I know I'm an asset. You can't take that away from me. I had someone in my family get mad at me because I said I'm smart. Why can't I say I'm smart? You're supposed to let other people say that about you. Who told you that? But you're never going to say it because you're obviously operating from a place of jealousy. But then the same person will say, oh, I want the God to make me a better person, but you're not even trying to be a better person because God sends people in your life. And whether you say God, Allah, Jehovah, Olodumare, Most High, Creator, Mother, Father, Creator, divine mother, whatever you decide to say, ancestors, okay? People are sent into your life to help you be a better person or to teach you. We're here to learn from one another, not to judge or criticize one another, right? And if someone's being sent to you and you reject that person, how will you ever get the help that you need? You won't, because you're so busy judging the book by its cover. Oh, that person's younger than me. Oh, that person's older than me. Oh, that person's shorter than me. Oh, that person didn't get an education. Whatever it is. Even people who get mad because I don't eat meat. Are you kidding me? Why do I have to do that? Because that makes that person feel insecure because they're still doing it. And there's a part of them that wants to stop. And because you had the willpower and the courage to do so, they now want to judge you and make it seem like, oh, I can't go out to eat with you because you don't eat meat. Or you don't eat nothing. That is so insulting. And people think nothing of it. They just openly insult you, which is so ungodly, so unloving, so unrighteous. And then how dare you go and hurt someone or judge someone? You know, everyone goes through a Job moment, right? In 2019. So from July 2019 until like April 2020, when I moved into this apartment 5 years ago, I lived in my car, right? I had a couple people. I had one person who put me in a hotel around Thanksgiving. And then I had a couple people who let me stay with them, which ended up not working out so well. And then I was able to find this apartment, right? And it was during COVID, so people weren't showing apartments. There was a lot to it. And for a year and 5 months, I had sciatica. I couldn't work. The job that I was working on, they wouldn't let me come to work with my cane, and they wouldn't let me come to work in a wheelchair. They denied me access. And they claimed they didn't have light duty, right? So for a year and 5 months, I couldn't work. When I went on an interview, I went with my cane, you know, and I was basically told, you're a liability, so I can't hire you. I think I had another interview, and pretty much something similar was said. Not as directly, but I do appreciate direct, right? I appreciate direct and blunt because I'm direct and blunt. And that was rough. I did get help. I did get some assistance, but I didn't know what was going to happen. But, you know, and people who were around me at that time, they're like, oh, I'm surprised basically that you overcame that. I thought you would always basically be down. And so it clicks in your mind like, oh, this person thought that they would be able to manipulate me and take advantage of me. And a couple people tried, and they got denied access, baby. Because I'm no fool. I'm kind. I'm giving, right? But I'm not a fool. I'm very intelligent, and I don't care if you don't like that I'm saying that. I have very spiritual intelligence, I have emotional intelligence, and I have street smarts. I have book smarts. And I grew up with narcissistic relatives. So I see the foolishness coming, honey. What's that saying? You can't fool the fool who's fooling you? Some of y'all are grimy. Y'all really mistreat people. And it's so sad. And y'all get a kick out of it. Y'all think it's funny. Like even me saying that I'm pending eviction right now. I'm sure that somebody really get a kick. Oh, good for her. I'm glad. Why? Because you're jealous that I have confidence? Because you've placed me in a category based on your own thoughts that make absolutely no sense, is very illogical, very immature, right? And so, no, I don't know, you know, how this is going to turn out. But I'm thankful and grateful to be going through the process. Because anything that I go through, I ask myself, what did you learn from this situation? Right? What did I learn from this? And how can I still treat myself with kindness and respect in the meantime? How can I still pamper myself and treat myself well despite the earthly circumstances? Because it's all earthly things, right? And I'm thankful to my management company. They've been very patient with me. Very. They're a lot better than the previous ones. And so I'm thankful that I'm getting this grace. I'm very thankful. And I trust and know and I have confidence that it will all work out. And so I still have joy. There was an old lady who was pending foreclosure. The sheriffs were about to knock on her door, and some lady randomly called her and gave her $10,000, which took care of the foreclosure. She had like a rooming house. She let all these people come stay with her. They weren't paying her rent. And so that put her into a bad state. Because that's what sometimes happens when we do our best to help people, but we always get that help back in return. Right? Because whatever you put out comes back to you tenfold in 400 generations. Right? So whether that be good, not so good, or indifferent, it will come back around to you. So I do my best to put out the good. And again, if somebody tries me, honey, they usually quickly see it's not a game. Because I see what you're doing. And I don't always say anything. Because sometimes you just want to see how far people are going to go. So I just sit back and watch the show. Oh, word? That's what you think. You think I don't know what you're doing. You think I don't know what's going on. You really think that I'm that silly. Because I walk around and I dance and I sing and I enjoy life, baby. Yes, that's what I do. And people look, oh, I could take advantage of her. I know I can screw her. She's probably just a bimbo. And they think that until they don't. But again, I can help you gain that within yourself. Because you shouldn't be looking at other people. It should all be about you and what's inside of you and how to make yourself better. And stop rejecting other people because they don't come as the messenger you think they should be packaged as. That's you being judgmental. And that's not what we're here for. We're here to learn from one another. We are the soul within. We are one band, one sound. Right? Russell Simmons once said to Oprah, if you take a cup and you dip it into the ocean, we're all a cup of God. So we're all one collective, right? Whether we choose to understand that or not, right? Yes, there are different nationalities, but all of that is division. All of that puts you in a divisive mindset. We are really not meant to be divided in that way. That was a planned attack, which basically makes us prisoners of war and we don't know it. There are certain nationalities of people who were separated and said, oh, you're better than those people. And so we'll give you this and will let you do that. But that's not how it's supposed to be. And again, I can help you to remember who you are. Because I feel like right now, I am the person I was meant to be before anything tragic ever happened, right? Before I experienced anything that did not serve a good purpose in my life. And so that's the joy that I have. My inner child is smiling, and I can help you make your inner child smile too. So if you want that help, feel free to contact me. As always, I love y'all and I wish you all the best. Mwah.